Dana, I know you were on CNN last night, and all of this really plays into the broader scheme of what we're up against when we face the mainstream media and their lies. And really, they tried to do it to you last night in many respects by just hammering away on a narrative that simply isn't true.
No, that's true. And Grant, it's good to talk with you. People need to be aware that media is desperately trying to find daylight right now between law-abiding gun owners and between the president. Now, people aren't always going to agree on everything. I mean, I think I've given the example before that my husband and I may not agree on everything 100% of the time, but it doesn't mean that, okay, that's it, we're giving up. That's it's all done. We're in the question and answer stage of this process, and there are going to be more of these congressional discussions. And it was fascinating just the way that media is desperately trying to get at, does the NRA feel betrayed? Or I think Anderson, who I've known for quite some time, and I think that the way that he has handled issues in certain respects has been a bit more fairer than other individuals at his network. I give credit where it's due. But I don't know how many different ways I can say it. There's nothing concrete that has yet been proposed. I mean, we're still in the discussion stage, and it's incredibly important for people to realize that. It's incredibly important for people to realize that this president had his concealed carry license before he had Secret Service protection. I personally have grilled this president no fewer than 10 times on my radio program, specifically on Second Amendment issues, specifically on national reciprocity, and this president was more well-spoken on individual liberty where it concerns Second Amendment than Gary Johnson, who was the head of the Libertarian ticket. So I have firsthand experience with all of this, which is why I want to wait and see what concrete proposals come out of all of these discussions. And Grant, to this point, just to go back really quickly, this is all about the left's attempt to divide, isolate, and polarize. And that's what they want to do. They're looking for daylight between NRA leadership and NRA members. They're looking for daylight between the president and law-abiding gun owners. But I'll have people know, in this, we all agree on one thing: to keep kids safe, because we're parents too. We're moms and dads, and no one's moral authority is higher than someone else's moral authority. Okay, we're all parents. That's number one. But number two, we have to make sure that we're respecting due process throughout all of this. You can do both. It's the way our system is set up in this republic. The problem is that the protocol hasn't been followed, and it hasn't been a failure of the law. It's been a failure of enforcement. We just now, right before you came to me, Grant, I was reading the latest story about how the Broward sheriff is apparently the one who gave the stand-down order, and where you had deputies setting up a perimeter instead of going in to address the situation that was the tragedy, the massacre that was happening inside of Parkland. And from what I'm hearing, there are a lot of people who aren't going on the record but are talking about this sheriff who maybe serve under him or serve alongside him in a different department. So more is going to come out about this, and it's incredibly important that we focus on that instead of what the media is doing and trying to find some sort of division where it doesn't exist. You can't react to something that hasn't happened yet. And this president deserves, I think, the benefit of the doubt because he has a better record on the Second Amendment issues than the former administration does. And that's one of the things that I answered with Anderson. You know, NRA's made it clear. They're standing for due process. And we also want to protect kids, bottom line.